All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're digging into a book called The Cosmic Lie. And let me tell you, it is a journey. It talks about this huge cosmic war for our minds, for our consciousness, and this massive mission to get back a history that it says was stolen from us. So let's unpack its core ideas together and see what it's all about. Right from the jump, in the preface, the author basically says, look, this isn't your dusty old history textbook. No, it's framed as something way more personal, like a love letter to your soul, a map to your own buried treasure. So we're talking about a blend of deep spirituality and a real call to get up and do something. Okay, so let's get into the main idea here. The book's whole foundation is this. Our history hasn't just been forgotten, it's been actively and systematically hidden. And this cover-up created what the author calls the cosmic lie. What is that? Well, it's this false reality, a kind of matrix, built specifically to cut melanated people off from their real, innate power. So right away, you're asked to question everything. Think about the history you learned in school. The book doesn't see that as objective fact. It frames it as straight-up propaganda, a story carefully crafted to keep a certain fiction of supremacy going. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this comparison. On one side, you have the official narrative, the stuff we're all taught. History starts with Greece and Rome, Africa is a dark continent, all that. But then, on the other side, you have the book's perspective. And it's not just a minor correction. It completely flips the script. We're talking about Africa as the cradle of civilization for thousands of years, a glorious past that was deliberately wiped out, and human origins that are, well, cosmic and divine. It's a total rewrite. And the book is crystal clear on this. This wasn't some accident. It wasn't just stuff getting lost over time. It was a calculated campaign, a war on our memory. The author puts it this way. It wasn't enough to enslave our bodies. They had to enslave our minds as well. They had to sever us from our roots. That's a powerful statement. So how did this happen? The book lays out the methods. We're talking about the burning of libraries. And yeah, the Great Library of Alexandria is a huge one, presented as a massive bonfire of African knowledge. We've got the looting of priceless artifacts like the Benin bronzes, which are described as stolen treasures. And it goes on, desecrating sacred sites, twisting historical records, and a deep psychological war through colonialism and slavery. And this is a really crucial point. The physical chains were only part of the story. The book says it was reinforced by something deeper, what it calls mental slavery. It's this state where an oppressed person actually starts to believe in their own inferiority, accepting their situation as just normal. They end up policing themselves. A system of soul murder, as the author puts it. Okay, so after breaking down the official story, the book then pivots. It's time to rebuild. It starts to reconstruct the history that it says was stolen, and it lays out this incredibly powerful alternative timeline. And here it is. Just look at this timeline of flourishing African civilizations. We're going way back to 3100 BCE with Kemet, what we now call Egypt, mastering science, math, architecture. Then you've got the Nubian kingdoms, the Ghana Empire, the Land of Gold, and of course the Mali Empire under Mansa Musa, a global center of learning and wealth. The point here is that for thousands of years, Africa was a powerhouse, a hub of civilization, long before Europe came onto the scene. And it wasn't just about gold and power. The contributions were massive. In Kemet, you've got the pyramids, hieroglyphs, advanced medicine. In Mali, the University of Sankora had something like 700,000 manuscripts. That's incredible. And then there's the Moors, who ruled Spain for 800 years and, according to the book, literally pulled Europe out of the Dark Ages with science, mathematics, including the concept of zero, and amazing architecture. This quote from Dr. John Herrick Clarke really hits the nail on the head. History is a clock, a compass. What does that mean? It means history isn't just about the past. It tells you who you are right now. It gives you your place in the world. And the book's point is, if someone else controls your history, they control your destiny. They can make you feel lost without a compass. All right, so we've covered the historical angle. Now, the book takes a really interesting turn. We're shifting from history books to the blueprint in our own blood. We're about to get into the biological and, the metaphysical. And it all centers on one substance, melanin. So what is melanin, according to this text? Forget what you learned in biology class. It's not just a pigment that gives skin its color. No way. Here, it's presented as this incredible, complex, carbon-based biopolymer. It's a superconductor. It's a cosmic antenna. It's what connects us to the entire universe. A living stargate. Can you believe that? So the idea is that melanin is literally the bridge between our physical world and the spiritual realms. It's the biological source of our intuition, our creativity, our spiritual connection. And according to the book, the more melanin you have, the stronger that connection to the cosmos is. This isn't about superiority, it's about spiritual sensitivity. And where is the headquarters for all this in our body? The book points straight to the pineal gland, our third eye. It's this tiny gland in the center of our brain, and it's incredibly rich in melanin. It's presented as the physical seat of our cosmic consciousness, our own personal, direct line to the divine. Okay, so if this gland is so important, how do we get it working at full capacity? The book lays out a guide to what it calls decalcification. It's a 4-step process. First, physical detox. Get rid of fluoride, processed foods, and focus on alkaline foods. Second, spiritual practice, like daily meditation. Third, sun gazing, absorbing that natural light to literally feed the gland. And fourth, sound healing, using specific frequencies to break up the calcification. This isn't just a health tip. It's framed as an act of liberation, of taking back your mind. Now, if you thought that was wild, get ready. The book zooms way out, beyond Earth, and connects our story to a huge galactic heritage. As it says, our story is written not in the dust of the Earth, but in the fire of the stars. And for proof of this cosmic connection, the book turns to the Dogon people of Mali. Here's the thing. For centuries, they had incredibly precise knowledge about the star system Sirius, including a companion star, Sirius B, that's completely invisible to the naked eye. Western science only confirmed its existence with powerful telescopes in the 19th and 20th centuries. So how did the Dogon know? Well, the Dogon tradition, as cited in the book, has an answer. The knowledge wasn't discovered, it was given. It was a gift from a race of amphibious, humanoid beings from the Sirius star system called the Nomo, who came to Earth a long, long time ago and shared this cosmic wisdom with humanity. So this sets the stage for a cosmic war for consciousness. It's a battle that's been raging for eons. On one side, you have the Devas, the beings of light. They're the original guardians of Earth, trying to create a paradise. On the other side, you have the Asuras, the invaders, a parasitic race that lost its own divine connection and now seeks to control and feed off others. Our entire history, according to this book, is the story of this epic struggle. And here's another mind-bending concept. The book takes common spiritual ideas like karma and reincarnation and turns them on their head. Instead of being a system for spiritual growth and justice, they're presented as a soul trap, a kind of spiritual virus or metaphysical prison designed by the Asuras to keep souls recycling back into the matrix over and over again. So, what were we before this cosmic war? The book introduces the concept of the Namlu. This was the original human blueprint. Magnificent, multidimensional, deeply melinated beings who were the first guardians of this planet. The idea is that humanity was genetically downgraded from this powerful state. But that original code, that memory, is still there, dormant in our DNA, just waiting to be woken up. Okay, so the book has laid out this incredible story. The cosmic lie, the stolen history, the galactic war. It's a lot to take in. But it doesn't just leave you in the past. The final sections pivot to the future. It's a blueprint for what we do now. And the timing is crucial. The book argues that right now, we are at a pivotal moment in human history. We're at the very end of a 6,000-year cycle of darkness. This isn't a time for despair. It's the dawn of the Great Awakening, a new golden age that we are here to build. So how do we build it? The book lays out these pillars for a new civilization, and it's all about creating our own systems, our own economic systems based on cooperation, not competition, our own educational systems to decolonize our minds, our own health systems, media, and even systems of defense. It's not about separating, it's about self-determination and building something new from the ground up. A central part of this new age is what the book calls the return of the divine feminine. The idea is that for thousands of years, the world has been out of balance, dominated by an aggressive, patriarchal energy that's led to war and destruction. The new golden age is about restoring that balance, bringing back the creative, nurturing, intuitive force of the universe. And this cosmic rebalancing is focused very specifically. The healing of the Black woman, who the book says has carried a triple burden, is presented as the absolute key. Her healing is the healing of the nation, and ultimately, the key to liberating all melanated people. So we've got all this incredible knowledge, this new history. But the book's final section makes one thing clear. Knowledge isn't enough. You have to do something with it. So it shifts from these huge cosmic ideas into a practical guide for your daily life. It starts with your morning, seizing the dawn. The first hour of the day is sacred. So instead of grabbing your phone, the book suggests this. 1. Connect. Practice sun gazing at sunrise to energize your body and that pineal gland. 2. Stillness. Just 15-20 minutes of meditation to connect with your higher self. And 3. Reprogram. Use affirmations to overwrite all that negative programming. It's about setting a sovereign tone for your entire day. And this is a big one for our modern world. Starving the matrix by being mindful of what media you consume. The book calls mainstream media the fear machine. So the advice is to unplug from it, to question everything you see and hear. Seek out different sources. And most importantly, learn to trust your own gut, your own intuition as the final authority on what's true for you. And really, when you boil it all down, that's what this whole book is about. It's about this one fundamental shift in how you see the world and yourself. It's a move away from waiting for someone else to come and save you. The message is simple. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We have the power to liberate ourselves. So, we end where the book ends, not with a statement, but with a question aimed right at you. After all of this, the stolen history, the cosmic war, the inner power, the final message is simply to remember who you are. So the question is, what will you choose to remember?